Well, we've come down to the last few questions here, Dr. Joy, and of course, we so appreciate you taking the time
Oh,
to
I've just
meet with
enjoyed
us.
this. I love talking about my research.
Oh, wonderful!
It's
Because
a part of me, you know.
yes, yes, I love the research that you do too. Because in my own research, I've come to a lot of the same conclusions that you have. But I do look forward to reading your books and meeting with you again afterwards, because I think there's a lot of things that you have even talked with us about that will expand on
Yes,
my research.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, Dr. Joy, you said that you have been brought up in the same church all your life and that this church is a small Southern Baptist church in South Georgia. How does the congregation feel about the issues that you discuss in your books?
Shocked.
Very shocked.
And I think it's because, like myself, I grew up there and we were taught just certain basic whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
The basics are important for you to know. But in the times that we live in now, there's so much more that's going on that will sway you because you're not understanding. The fight is much greater than it was.
Right.
Um, so that I think that there are a lot of people there who are like me that they had questions, but who do you ask?
Right.
You know,
Right.
do you bring up something like alien abductions at
Mm-hmm.
church?
Mm-hmm.
Do you talk about that there were angels that may
Right.
have mated?
Right.
How do you bring that up in a church
Right.
situation? Sometimes the church is it can be so strict or so like you think that might be a bad thing to bring
Mm-hmm.
up that you don't allow discussion.
Right.
And I have always been this way. I want to know the truth. Whatever it is,
Right.
I just want to know the truth.
Absolutely.
And so I think that the people that I grew up with there that know me, they know that in my heart I love the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and that I am searching diligently because there are people who have left churches
Mm-hmm.
because they couldn't find answers.
Right.
And I'm trying to be that person. I'm trying to be the restorer
Mm-hmm.
back that you can understand that science and religion do have a purpose together, where it's been separated so long that they
Mm-hmm.
think, well, either you got to believe this way and you can't
Right.
believe this
Or
way, you
this
can't
way.
believe this way, you
Yeah.
can't believe this way. I'm showing you that it's a connection
Yeah. And
there.
there's an underlying truth
Oh
behind it
yes,
all.
definitely. So I enjoy going to my church. Like I say, I started there the week after I was born. Um, I play the organ, play the piano, play the drums there, sing in the choir. So I love this little church. It's
Mm-hmm.
very special to me, and I've never had a desire to ever leave. I feel like when I go into the church that I'm going there to worship my Lord and Savior.
Absolutely.
Whether I'm there by myself or there's 50 million people in that building,
Right.
the relationship, my eternity, is in my choice with Him.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter who else is there.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's a personal relationship.
And if I can help others who have had problems, I want them to know the truth about what's out there.
This is the last question. We've got 9 minutes on the thing. How do you feel about the public's reaction to the info that you have released? And do you feel it is time for these hidden secrets to be known by all?
Well, I think the hidden secrets have always been out there, but they've been limited to people who had either certain bloodlines or
Mhm.
either they were a part of secret societies,
Right.
and that they kind of known what's been going on along all the
All
time.
along.
I feel like I'm kind of like Moses was when he sent the people out to find out what the bad guys were up to.
Right.
You know, to be a good strategist or to be a good fighter against Satan, you've got to know what is he up to.
Mhm.
It's like in your own life, as things start happening bad, instead of blaming God, you go, okay, let me put this in perspective. Why is it that Satan does not want me to do this? Why is he
Right.
trying to keep me from doing it? And once you start looking at it in another way of thinking, you start seeing his little fingerprints all over everything. So my intent is for you to open your eyes, and lots of people say, once they read my book, they had sat down and watched the Winter Olympics. I sat and watched the Winter Olympics, except I had a pen and paper once I started seeing all these symbolisms, and I'm like,
Right. Right.
and when I wrote it all down, then people say, I sat and watched that and never paid attention to what that was. I said, once your eyes are open, you will see the fingerprints of Satan on
Everywhere.
everything. And so now the people who read my work and who correspond with me around the world
Mhm.
say, Joy, all this time I thought I had my eyes open.
Mhm.
I I said, you were walking around with your eyes completely closed. And that's what Satan wants Christians, and he wants humanity to be that way.
Right. You've been studying these things for 3 decades now.
Yes.
In that time, you've seen the evolution of truth in people and in the world. Do you feel more and more people are starting to get it?
I think that, unfortunately, right now there's such a play for your soul. Satan knows he's got a short time.
Mm-hmm.
I see him working overtime.
Right.
I see people falling victim to a lot of the Da Vinci stuff.
Right.
Leonardo and the boys, back when he was doing his thing with alchemy and that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it was limited to those certain groups. Now it's targeted at the masses. So all your New Age stuff is just being thrown at people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like now the fight is even greater than it was.
There's
Even
so
10
much
years
out
ago.
there.
That's right. There's so much out there. When I grew up, if somebody, drank, oh, that was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or that they smoked a cigarette, that was kind of whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now you just think of what you can get into.
Exactly.
So Satan is offering so much more to grab you at a younger age, to convert you quickly, through things just as simple as Harry Potter.
Right, exactly.
And
Harry Potter,
a lot of
music,
people in the Christian world go, oh, it's fantasy. And I'm like, walking around with your eyes closed.
Exactly.
Because the fingerprints are there.
Right.
And once you understand where she got her information and who she got it from.
And it's enculturating all the children.
Brainwashing.
Right, exactly. Well,
but you have to understand that to understand the whole picture.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Joye, we have just a few minutes left on this tape. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the community and to the people?
Listen, if you visit my website at www.drjoye, that's joy with an E.com. If you have any questions, my website will give you an email that you can email me. I'm one of those kind of people, if I get an email, I will answer the email. It may take me a couple of days, but I'll get to it because it is that important to me that you get your questions answered. Because as a child, when I could not get my questions answered, that was very frustrating to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to answer all of my emails personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, and I can attest to that because that's how Dr. Joye and I became introduced.
Yes.
And so, again, this is Zen Garcia with FallenAngels.tv, and I just want to thank you, Dr. Joye, for the opportunity that we've had to interview you this day.
This has been great.
And we look forward to future correspondence.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Zen. Yes, you can. If you got any questions, I would like to answer them. Look. From the end of time, and I'll take you from the garden to the end of time and tell you all these prophetic things that are going on in the world right now. 7 years ago, forever injuries, I'm talking your best friend, and I'm telling you all these great things that you never, ever thought to do. I'm actually from Georgia, but I'm from South Georgia. Right. Did I give you a pamphlet? This is about my latest book that I'm signing today.
And so for us to be able to understand what we are going through and what we are living in, our eyes have to be open to what is happening around us. And we see that even in like books that you so graciously are able to put together, like Codex Magica. I mean, a lot of people do not understand that these particular signs and gestures and certain things are happening very openward, but they're not. If you don't understand it, then you don't pay attention to it.